Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ibrahim Mohammed Bello. I am a 2023 mentee for the MCW Global Youth Fellowship, and in this video I'm going to be guiding you in your first round application for the 2024 MCW Global Youth Fellowship. If you haven't checked out my videos showing you my experience through the fellowship, I'm going to link it up here for you so you can go watch and see what's in it for you if you get selected. Now, before we get into this video, a disclaimer please. The tips that I'm going to give in this video are not from MCW or the selection committee. And I'm not saying if you implement all of them, you're automatically going to be selected. These are just my own tips from my own experience in applying and participating in the program. Now, there's a lot of information already on the MCW Global website detailing the benefits of being selected, the requirements from you after you've been selected. So I'm going to leave a link to it, to the application site down below, because in this video we're going to be focusing more on the personal essays and down to the recommendation letters. So in your first essay, the question is identify an issue in your community that concerns you and how would you like to address this issue. Now, this can be something that you're currently working on or something that you want to work on. Remember to be careful when picking an issue here because it will determine how you write your other essays, the second and the third essay. I'm going to give you an outline for the essay soon. However, this issue has to be something that you are truly passionate about. It has to be something that you're willing to work on for the foreseeable future and not just a side project that you're going to do it and then it's done. It needs to be something that you hold close to your heart. It needs to be something that affects you or your community. Most times people tend to think too big, but it really can be anything. It doesn't matter. What matters is you and your story. Now that you have your issue, we're going to talk about the outline. The first thing you want to have is your heading, your essay heading. You need to make it in capital letters in order to catch the attention of your reviewer, and it needs to be catchy depending on your issue. Next is your introduction. Here you need to describe your environment a little because the reviewer might be from another country and not familiar with your country, and then you describe the issue you're trying to solve. Next is the incidence of the issue and what you have done so far in tackling it if it's something that you've already started working on. Next is how is your community affected by this issue. You need to discuss the consequences of the issue on the community at large. Lastly, you want to list how you would like to fix this problem. At this point, you can say, I would like to address this issue through, then you list 4 or 5 interventions you want to carry out and their possible outcomes. Now that's essay number 1. Now in essay number 2, here is where you are expected to talk about the time in which you used your leadership skills to solve a challenge you were facing. From my point of view and the issue you chose from your first essay, you can't talk about sexual and reproductive health in your first essay and then talk about climate change in your second essay. That destroys the harmony you want to have when your reviewer is reading your application. So if you pick a field, you need to stick with it. Perhaps, for example, as a medical student, in your field of work, you had a medical outreach, that you used to create awareness on an issue, and then you met a bit of hostility from the community, and then you used your leadership skills, your active listening skills to meet with community leaders and enlighten them on the issue, and then after that they were more welcoming, something like that. Or perhaps one day you were working on a project and then you had a disagreement with your community, but after you listened to everyone's opinion, you were able to come up with a solution that better benefits the beneficiaries in the community. Something like that, but keep it in line with the issue you chose in your first essay. In essay number 3, here you are to describe an experience you had in your grassroots work in your community. This is sort of like the icing on the cake. It's meant to just beautify everything you've said in your 2 essays and show that you truly have been engaged with the people of your community. Simply describe a situation where an engagement took place between you and the people in your community. Perhaps it was a discussion during an outreach or awareness that at the end of the engagement, both you and the people of the community benefited from it and came out as better versions of yourself. Next is the resume. For your resume, already there are regulations about it. It's supposed to be 1 page, Times New Roman, and size font 12, all listed in the application website that I will link below. Make sure you abide with them. If you need help with your resumes, there are lots of video tutorials on YouTube, but in it, make sure you list things that still line up with the issue that you've listed in your first essay. So if you're talking about sexual and reproductive health or climate change in your first essay, in your resume, make sure you list your achievements or offices or volunteer works that you have done in the field of the issue you have chosen in your first essay. So that creates like this beautiful harmony when the person is reviewing your application. They see that you're really concerned about the issue and you've worked on it, you've worked with the team, you've displayed leadership skills, and you are truly engaged with your community and your community loves you. So that's it. Next is the recommendation letters. I don't know if it's still mentioned there in the application, but I remember that you should never get a recommendation letter from your family or relatives. Now, you can get them from organizations that you've worked with, maybe an NGO or your lecturers too. Now, from my own experience, it makes things a lot easier when you get your recommendation letters from people with an official letter-headed paper. It should be signed and dated at the top and also beside the signature. Please make sure you let them know the deadline. If possible, tell them it's a bit closer than the actual date so that you'll get it in good time. Now, as the structure of the recommendation should be, the first paragraph, let them acknowledge that they know you or the position you've held in the organization, even if it's just a volunteer position. The second paragraph, they should list a few of your projects that you have done and its impact. In the third and final paragraph, let them simply recommend you for the 2024 MCW Global Youth Fellowship. And that's it. Make sure you proofread your essays, make sure you cross your I's and dot your T's and pray, which is very, very important. Now, you can reach out to your friends. They can help you read your essays, make few corrections grammatically, or you can use Grammarly to check for corrections. Now, there are so many people that have actually reached out that I should please help read their essays. That is simply not feasible for me right now because I have so much going on with final year and medical school. But just remember, it's your story. So all you have to do is just tell it. So that's it. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comment section and I will try my best to answer them. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you get notified when I release the video guidelines for stage 2 and of the MCW Global Youth Fellowship. Lastly, hit that share button and share it to someone you know is applying and doesn't quite know how to go about it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that everyone that's watching this video makes it to stage 2. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in stage 2. Bye.